Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit. We're going to do a little bit more Master at Arms. I made a slight change to the deck, only one alteration. I think that for the theme, it's about as good as it's going to get without sacrificing elements of the theme for effectiveness, which defeats the point of a gimmick deck. But the one thing I did get rid of is Whirlwind. Now, Whirlwind was necessary for 3 reasons, yeah? Those reasons were Spiteful Smith, Golden Spiteful Smith, and Grommash Hellscream. We needed a way to enrage that was cheap and effective and could be done on the same turn as these cards were played. So of course, the longer you wait, the worse it can get. Spiteful Smith is a pretty big removal target, especially if a warrior has a weapon. The last thing they want is to enrage that creature because it makes that weapon super powerful, so they'll probably try and get rid of that. And it's the same kind of deal with Grommash, but thankfully Grommash is a charging creature, so he's probably going to trade well regardless of what happens. But enraging him turns him from a 4/9 charge, which is pretty good, yeah, into a 10/8 charge, which is incredible. Really, really good. That's a third of the health of any character gone instantly. So you need a way to enrage him, and you need to do it on the same turn. Now, I've replaced the Whirlwinds with Cruel Taskmasters. So I can enrage with this, but there's a couple of additional benefits. One, it doesn't hurt your own stuff in the way that Whirlwind does. It still hurts something, but it's targeted. So if I happen to have a bunch of things on the board, particularly things like Bloodsail Raiders, which are potentially very, very powerful but have very low health, then I'm going to want something that can deal with other things on the board and maybe do enrages without hurting them. Same for Dread Corsairs. They're not very good, but they are almost free. They keep a bit of pressure off you. Things like Captain Greenskin are 5/4s, which stat line-wise for a 5-cost minion is actually pretty bad. Usually you want at least a 4/5. In the case, of course, Spiteful Smiths, you get 4/6s. There is, of course, an advantage to using Whirlwind, and that's the synergy with Armorsmith, but because of the small number of creatures that I actually have in this deck, I feel the synergy between these two is actually quite weak. So, while I'm keeping it out because the extra armor is always good, I am not going to keep the Whirlwind. And the Cruel Taskmaster is also a minion as well, so it gives me a little bit of early game pressure. It gives a slight bit of removal in certain circumstances. You know, if I want to get rid of something that has 1 health left, I can do it with the Cruel Taskmaster. And of course, it can enrage these 3 creatures. It could even enrage something that's not that. We could do a Bloodsail Raider. If you think about it, take a Bloodsail Raider, you got your Arcanite Reaper out, you play a Bloodsail Raider, that's a 7/3. You enrage that, that's a 9/2. And that's going to hit really, really hard. Of course, it's a little bit weak, but it's definitely got its uses. But we keep a bit of armor in the deck nonetheless. We can't really replace things like shield block because we don't have any card draw, and we also don't have a lot of armor generating stuff, which we really need when we're using a lot of weapons. Outside of that, the deck is the same. So, we will give it a shot. Alright, it is a new season. So, actually put me at rank 21 there. Gives you the bonus stars after every season, just to make sure you don't go back to rank 25, which is good. You know, the initial couple of days of laddering in a new season is always kind of stupid. At least it was anyway, because everyone was dumped back to 25, so you had no idea who you'd end up against. It was pretty silly. Thankfully, they seem to have evened that out a little bit. I like the system that they're using at the moment. So, we of course need to climb up over rank 20 to get this month's card back. We've got all of them so far, and I'm going to use the new Black Temple one. I like that one a lot. Really, really nice card back. I actually prefer it when my opponents have it because I get to look at it more. This is not quite as cool, but... Okay, Shield Block, Cruel Taskmaster, Grommash. We're going to toss these 2, and we'll go from there. Hoping for a Fiery War Axe, we didn't get it, so this is not a brilliant start. We don't have a turn 1 plate. There we go. Oh, Spiteful Smith. Okay, that's nice. So we might keep our Cruel Taskmaster for that. We might. It depends. Depends what he plays. If he plays something with 1 health, which he's not going to... Don't want to play Cruel Taskmaster Raw. I think getting something on the board would be useful here. It's not brilliant, certainly, but it would be better than nothing. I don't have a turn 3 option, which concerns me a little bit, outside of maybe Heroic Strike on a creature, so we're going to toss the Cruel Taskmaster out there. It's not brilliant, honestly. For a 2/2 for 2 is not great. You know, obviously, you expect a minimum of 3/2, but it's a minion on the board that he can't kill immediately. He may play something like Arcane Missiles, which might kill it. Oh, he's going to Frostbolt it. Actually, I'm pretty okay with that. Frostbolt can be used, of course, to freeze me when I have a weapon, so it's alright that he did that. I'm going to toss out the Armorsmith now. There we go. It's not easy to remove that. So yeah, I don't mind him using that on the Cruel Taskmaster. That's a card for a card. Not really a big deal. What's he going to come up with now? Chillwind Yeti. Okay, really, really nice play from him. Really nice. And annoyingly, I don't have a great answer to that. The best I can do is Heroic Strike and then run my Armor Smith into it, which is a 2-for-1 trade. That's the problem with Chillwind Yetis. Most things that you do against them are 2-for-1 trades. But we do need to get it off the board. So, I'll do that. There we go. Could play my Bloodsail Raider here as well. I would rather hold on to that, especially considering he's already used a Frostbolt. Combining this with an Arcanite Reaper would be very, very good. Next turn we'll play Arcanite Reaper Dread Corsair for obvious reasons, but yeah, we're just going to get rid of this. Now, we do want to, before we armor up, we're going to try and remove health, and the reason we're going to do that is because the lower our health is, kind of the better, because we have 2 Mortal Strikes in this deck, so ideally we want to be 12 health with a large armor stack. That's the ideal situation, and this is a little bit easier to do that. Of course, they're still going to strip off the armor, so it's not brilliant, but... Alright, okay, so we could play the Dread Corsair here. In fact, I'm going to. It's a great option. I'll put the Arcanite Reaper down first, which means I get it for free. There we go. We'll play out the Dread Corsair, and then we'll just remove that creature. Now, I was hoping for some early game damage, and I was hoping for things like upgrades, but looks like I'm not going to get either of those things. And I did use my Cruel Taskmaster earlier, which kind of sucks. Okay, that's a 3/6. We'll Bloodsail Raider next turn. Ooh, an upgrade. Ooh, this is actually brilliant. Okay, so what we do now is we upgrade, which gets us up to a 6/2. We then play the Bloodsail Raider, which gives us an 8/3. And bear in mind, it's probably got things like fireballs and things like that, but it's awesome that we can get rid of that with one swing. We do get frozen for a turn, which is not ideal, but... this is pretty strong. Thing is, it's against a mage, so he probably has a way to remove it. But if he doesn't, it's incredible. So, it's worth the risk. One way or the other. If he trades a card for a card, okay, it kind of sucks they didn't get a swing in. I mean, he's having to use a fireball on a 2-cost minion. So, that's kind of a win. I'm okay with that. And that was most of his turn as well. So, what's he got? A Fire Blast? He may have a follow-up. Arcane Missiles. Okay, we'd have to be very lucky to... I hate you so much. Ooh, another upgrade. That's cool. Okay, well, do I want to do it again? Do I want to use my last upgrade on Arcanite Reaper? I think if he could have destroyed it, he probably would have done it by now. Although that's not 100% certain. We're definitely going to play the Spiteful Smith, obviously. No, he used a Fireball as well. He might have a Polymorph. We're frozen for the time being. Do I want to use this upgrade? If I use this upgrade on a fresh Arcanite Reaper, then I get a 6/3 weapon. If I use it on this, I get a 7/2 weapon. So the 6/3 weapon is definitely better. I think we'll... yeah, we won't upgrade that for the time being. Plus, we might want to hold on for a Gorehowl with that as well. Because that can actually make a huge difference. Means you get 2 durability on a Gorehowl, which is a big deal. So we'll hold on for the time being. And there's the other Fireball. Alright. Well... that's a lot of his really good removal taken away. And another Spiteful Smith, which we're just going to play pretty much immediately. And I'm not going to use my axe for the time being. I don't want to use it on a 3/3. That doesn't seem reasonable. If I can use the 4/6 to take out the 3/3 and then swing for his face, that's much, much better. Because that's going to be heavy, heavy damage. Oh, more removal. Mages! Mages, 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 mages. Always with the answers. Which is kind of annoying because I don't have a lot of creatures, and I kind of need at least one of those to do something. And so far, it's not happening. I might have to MS that. Ooh. Southsea Deckhand, not bad, but unfortunately, it's not enough to break that. But we can use to kill a 2/2. There is a problem with that, though. I think I'm going to have to MS the 3/3. Because otherwise, I won't be able to charge that 2/2 with this 2/1. Unless I use upgrade. Which, again, as I said, I don't really want to do. But it might be worthwhile at this point. I think I've got to start applying the pressure. And I don't know if I mean, I've got 18 cards left in my deck. I might not draw my second Arcanite Reaper. So I think it might be good to have that. Okay, we will go for MS to get rid of that. There we go. And we will play the Southsea Deckhand, which we'll use to kill this. Do I want to upgrade? That's 14 damage to the face versus a potential 18 that I might get, but only might get. My Arcanite Reaper might be at the bottom of the deck. Let's do it. Let's start to really pile the pressure on here. There we go. If I draw an Arcanite Reaper now, I'm going to be very sad. Very sad, but we'll go for a swing. And now I'm out of cards, which is unfortunate. He has used most of his removal, but I don't actually have that many creatures left, so it doesn't really matter. And he gets another bloody taunt. So, evidently that doesn't matter in any way. Hate that, hate that, hate that. Celsi Deckhand, not brilliant for the situation. Do I gotta use the last Arcanite Reaper to get rid of that? Again, we're in a bad spot here because the Celsi Deckhand could eliminate this, but it can't if I swing first. And it only has charge while you have a weapon equipped. That's not actually a battle cry, so if this weapon disappears, the charge actually disappears as well. Let's hold for the time being. I mean, that's not a lot of damage he's got there. Let's hold and see if we get an answer. We might get something that could do the job. I don't want to use the last charge of that on a 3-5 if possible. Let's see what his follow-up is. Looks like he doesn't have one. Alright, I wonder what's in his hand then. Arathi Weaponsmith. Okay, I think we'll have to use the 7-1 then, and then we can draw the 2-2 weapon, kill that. Well, there's no point in playing that because it's just going to get fire blasted, so it's best to trade the Celsi Deckhand into that, because at least we then get value out of it. Okay. Well, I suppose this is the way to go. We can't just sit on this for too long. I was hoping for some answer in a turn, but we're taking that swing. There it is. And then we'll play our Arathi Weaponsmith. There we go. Then we can armor up, and the Celsi Deckhand goes into the 2-2. And I'll hold on to this for the time being. 2 damage is not really a big deal. It's the weakest weapon I've got. I still have 2 Fiery War Axes, 2 Gore Howls, and an Arcanite Reaper in the deck. Plus, I do have my Captain Greenskin. That's still in there somewhere. Mana Worm coming out. Wow, Flame Strike on a 3-3? Surprising. Very surprising. Yeah, alright. If I'd held on for a little longer, then I might have been in a better spot. But you never know. There was still over half my deck left. Okay, so what do? Probably ignore the 2-3, swing for the face. Do I want to play the Arcanite Reaper immediately? Maybe not. Do I want to get rid of this? I think I do want to get rid of this. Swinging for the face for 2 makes very little difference when I have Arcanite Reapers and Gore Howls left in the deck. So, we'll get rid of this. So, we'll swing next turn, kill that, and then play our Arcanite Reaper, and then hopefully draw Greenskin. But if I just get a Gore Howl after this, this is going to end up being pretty stupid. But then it'll become a DPS race, most likely. Alright, that's that. So, last swing will remove that. He still has a 4-4, and then I'm going to be behind in damage, but... Oh, Greenskin, okay, alright, alright. I think we see where we're going with this, then. Alright, so we get rid of that, and there's my Arcanite Reaper going down. And the Greenskin follow-up, which not only kills that, but it also gives me that 6-3. Alright, sweet. We're in a good spot. As long as he doesn't draw into Harrison Jones or an Ooze, we should be okay. Or another good taunt. We have got rid of his 2-3-5s. So, he probably doesn't have any other taunts, I would think. There aren't all that many great taunts. He might have something like a Sunwalker. That would screw me really badly. Hopefully he doesn't. And most of his removal is gone. He's used... Did he use both his fireballs? He used one of them, certainly. He used a Polymorph as well, and a Flame Strike. Let's see what his answer is. Does he even have an answer? He may not. Yeah, he did. Okay, if this becomes a damage race, we might be in trouble. Oh, that's no use at all. Okay, we've just got to go for the face and armor here. And we're going to have to race him and hope he doesn't have a Pyroblast. Can't play the Arathi Weaponsmith now. That's absolutely useless. This is going to be close. This is going to be close. It's like, do I want to attempt to race him? Do I lose this race, actually? Maybe. How many turns of damage is going to take me to do this? Well, actually, yeah. I might win the race. Thanks to Heroic Strike. It depends if he has, like, 1 more damage in his hand. If I armor up, that's 6, so he can only hit me for 4 and 1. Okay, I might win the race. Maybe. Just maybe. So I hit him for 10. Alright. Alright. Does he have damage? Did he just pull into damage? That's the question. Or a taunt. That's the question. Yes! Ha! Ooh, close, close. Oh, okay. I don't know if it was the right call trying to race him. It might have been the right call to kill a 4-4 much earlier. In fact, as we saw when the greenskin went down, it would have been absolutely the right call to kill that first. I shouldn't have gone for the face there. I didn't see that coming. I should have. I was just talking earlier about why the stat line of the Captain Greenskin isn't very good. Well, that's one of them, you know? It trades out for lesser cost minions, and it trades out for a Frostbolt if there's a +1 spell damage on the board. So that can be pretty messy, you know? 4 health and 5 attack is not a brilliant stat line, especially not for 5 cost. But yeah, it comes with the upgrade bundled in, which is why it's good, and there aren't all that many cards that do that. Okay, well, that was really close. We're going up against a priest. I hate this matchup because they usually take my weapons, which I never really expect. I don't like any of these, really. Heroic Strike is not really what I necessarily want early on in the game. I want it kind of mid-game. This is even worse, though, so maybe that was not the best idea. Hoping for Fiery War Axe. Not quite what I was after. We're not going to use an upgrade for 1-3 weapon. That is absolutely wasteful. Would never do that. It's really, really silly, like, unless you desperately need a weapon. And he's Holy Smiting me in the face. Alright, I can clearly see that this is going to be interesting. And he's Holy Smiting me again. Right. Interesting start. God damn it. I have heard something about Burst Priest decks that are starting to come into popularity. I've got to admit, I haven't read the deck lists or seen any of the strategies. I'm not entirely convinced that they would start with 1 smite, coin, smite. That's probably not right. I don't like the fact that he just did a steal. He could have got my Gorehowl, which would be absolutely awful if he did. I'm hoping he just got an upgrade. It's statistically likely it gets something like that. He might get an MS, he may get Dreadcore. Oh, come on! I have got nothing here. Absolutely nothing. I mean, admittedly, I'm set up so well for the late game with 2 Gorehowls and 2 upgrades, but against a priest, I don't like that this is sitting in my hand because he might get another Mind Vision. Oh, he played an acidic Swampoo's before I played a weapon. Fantastic. And he got an upgrade. Well, that is totally useless for him. Absolutely worthless. Okay, great. That went as well as it could have. We're going to lose the Armor Smith if I put that out there. I think the Dread Corsairs may be the best option. Unless I want to MS a 3-2, which I don't. I'd rather save it for something a little better than that. Yeah, I mean, the Dread Corsair is mana inefficient, but it does trade for the 3-2. And he used all his smites, but he may still have Shadow Word Pain, so that might suck. Yeah, we'll throw it out there. No Arcanite Reapers, no Weaponsmiths, and no Fiery War Axes. Not brilliant, not brilliant. It looks like he does not have Shadow Word Pain. He's just going to trade. Good, that's fine. And that 1-2 axe is not going to do anything. He's tickling me. He's not even killing my armor, so it was a pretty worthless card for him. Celsi Deckhand, again, not actually terrible in this scenario because of this. I got nothing to play! I suppose the only thing I can do is Armor Smith and armor myself. That's all I can do. I'm building up quite the hand of cards, that's certainly true. And having used 1 Mind Vision, he's probably not got another one anytime soon. Apparently he does. Let's hope he didn't get a Gorehowl. Because I mean, I don't know, the MS would be nice for him, but everything else in the hand is terrible for him, so I just hope that he didn't grab one of my 2 Gorehowls. Because that's going to be really, really good. And this is the reason I don't like priests. They're thieves. They really are. Alright, well, that's fine. That's not a problem. That burns his weapon out. What's his follow-up? Oh, you unlucky sod! Okay, now I love priests, because those Mind Visions have been the most useless things he could possibly throw out. Alright. Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Get on up, it's upgrade time. There we go. And to the face. Alright, let's start applying some pressure. This is what a real weapon looks like. Call that a heavy axe. We're gonna throw an upgrade on this, I think, as well, and we'll go all for it. Hopefully he doesn't have another... Ah! Well, at least that's his last ooze now, Gorehowl upgrade, so... That stings, definitely. But it's not the worst thing that could have ever happened. Alright, okay. Well, Gorehowl it will be. Wish I had a way of getting rid of this. Do I want to play the Spiteful Smith instead first, actually? Maybe that's the better option, because I don't want to use Gorehowl on a 3-2 when it has 7 there. I want to be able to upgrade it. So what we'll do is we're going to play the Spiteful Smith. Because he has that weapon, I don't really want to play my South Sea deckhand. So I think we just armor and ignore. Have that out. Then see what we can do with that. Hopefully, we could get Gorehowl upgrade and enraged. Although, I can't see him lifting that. It's a nice creature to have against a priest, though. It sits in that nice sweet spot of 4 attack where he can't actually play a card against it. So, that's pretty good. And going right for that. Yep, that's fine. And now I'll probably use this 3-2 to kill it. And then I'll use my 4-6 to enrage, which combined with the Gorehowl and upgrade is going to be hitting him for 1 billion points of damage. And he's out of oozes, so this is about as good as it gets. Does he have a follow-up, though? Does he have something good like... I don't know, he'd have to... He's barely playing anything. Like, you notice how much mana he's got? I wonder what's actually in his hand. Alright, we go Arcanite Reaper upgrade or Gorehowl upgrade. That's actually a tough call, because Gorehowl upgrade is... That would be an 8-2. With the option of taking durability instead of attack to kill minions. So that would be 16 damage over 2 turns. Arcanite Reaper upgrade is 18 damage over 3 turns. Plus this. Arcanite Reaper upgrade is actually better if this stays alive for 3 turns. You just get more benefit per swing. So I like that a lot. So I think we will go with the Arcanite Reaper. There we go. And of course we'll enrage. Which is cool too. And then we're going to upgrade that Arcanite Reaper. And we're not going to play the South Sea deckhand because, again, he still has 1 swing left on that heavy axe. Oh. Yup. Yeah. I probably would as well. Jeez. I don't really know what that deck was. It was a bit weird. If there is this Burst Priest idea going around, like I said, I'm pretty sure it doesn't start with Smite Coin Smite. So, yeah. He did get really unlucky with the Mind Visions. Getting 2 upgrades from those Mind Visions, that's so unfortunate. If he'd run into a Gorehowl, I imagine he'd have probably stayed in the game. But it's like, hey, here's an 8-3 Arcanite Reaper, let's go. Is not really what you ever want to see. I was writing my mathematics, though, there, wasn't I? I'm trying to think. So, 7-3, 8-3. Yeah, so it would be 20 damage versus 24 damage. So, yeah, it was the right call, assuming that I was at, it takes 1 turn longer to deliver that. But overall, the Arcanite Reaper is the better bet there, I think. Okay, Arathi Weaponsmith we can keep a hold on to. I want to toss my heroic... Actually, no, I don't. I'll keep a hold of that. Spiteful Smith can go. Dread Corsair can go. I mean, Dread Corsair is okay if I pull a War Axe, but that's a bit of a risk, so let's not do that. I haven't seen a War Axe this entire time, strangely enough. Alright, well, we always got that shield block on turn 2 if we want to get the card draw out. You see how beautiful these cards are? It's a really cool card back. Cruel Taskmaster. No, not yet. Let's just keep a hold of that. Since he has nothing out on the board, and he has nothing out this turn either, I don't think it necessarily matters too much. I'd rather hold on to it. It has utility, but I'll probably have to play it eventually. Do I want to play it this turn and then coin Weaponsmith? Maybe. That seems reasonable. I'm still not using the Battle Cry, but let's do that. And then coin Weaponsmith turn 3 is pretty powerful. So if he plays something reasonably strong, then I can... Oh, but he's not going to do that either. It looks like he's got nothing. So... Possible Twilight Drake in the hand? That's a possibility. Do I want to go coin Weaponsmith here, or do I want to use my shield block? Well, I'm going to have this kind of a dead few turns where I can't really do anything unless I pull a weapon, so we are going to do the coin weaponsmith. I think that's the best idea. And for the moment, we're going to hold on to the war axe. There's a couple of reasons for that. He may be tempted to ooze it, which is great, because that means he's not oozing my gore howl. And also, 2 damage to the face is maybe not that significant. And maybe I'd rather use it with this 2-2 here to kill something. Keep the Grove coming out. That's a nice play for him. That's going to be a 2 for 1. It's a really good card. Okay. How do I want to get rid of this? I could use a Heroic Strike and a swing of this weapon to get rid of that. Because otherwise he gets a good trade. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to Heroic Strike. There we go. So we'll get rid of that. And I'm going to hold on to this upgrade for Gore Howls. And I got my Grommash here as well, which makes me sad that I just used my Taskmaster, but I got a few turns to draw into another one. Should be alright. Definitely need that Grommash with the Enrage against the Druid. He's using a swipe on a 3-3. Okay, that makes me feel good. Well, not brilliant, but decent. I would certainly have preferred... Ooh, Captain Greenskin. Alright, interesting. Things are starting to get rather nice indeed. Don't want to upgrade that. We're just going to hold on to the armor. Do I want to swing with it? No. No, let's hold on to that. I can't play a weapon next turn anyway. Yeah, I feel kind of good about him using a swipe on one creature, but the downside of that is I didn't actually have that many creatures in the first place, so... Usually, if you're playing a lot of creatures, you'd be really happy to see that swipe go down, but... Not in this case. Bloodsoul Raider, that's okay. We have Captain Greenskin as well. We're not going to use that to upgrade this, though. And I think we'll burn this and then play our Gore Howl. So we'll play the Bloodsoul Raider now. You might say, oh, we'll hold on to the Gore Howl. Yes, but Druid have things like Wrath, so I'd rather play it now and maybe get that Wrath out of the way. Or maybe even a Starfire out of the way. Maybe trade up a bit. We'll burn the last swing of the axe now, I think. We don't need it. There we go. That's that gone. And then we have that Gore Howl next turn, and then we can Captain Greenskin it, we can upgrade it, we can do both actually on one turn, which would be kind of great. If he oozes, then we get very, very sad, of course. But combined with a Heroic Strike, I mean, the amount of weapon damage we're going to be able to do is incredible. What is he even holding on for? Surely, I mean, he's got to have something. He must have a play. He's got too many cards in his hand not to have a play of some description. Dalaran Mage. And a Mark of the Wild. Okay. Interesting. Alright, well, that would be a good target for Gore Howl, definitely. Fiery War Axe comes out just at the wrong time. Okay, well, we're just going to play regular Gore Howl. Yeah, that seems like the way to go. Regular Gore Howl. Because if he does have an ooze, I'd rather him use it now rather than when I've upgraded it multiple times. So we're going to use regular Gore Howl to clear that, and then we're going to hit him in the face. There we go. If he doesn't ooze it this turn, then we can drop Greenskin upgrade. Because we know that he's not going to be able to remove it. It's unlikely that you wouldn't ooze a Gore Howl if you had the capability. Knife Juggler coming out. Okay. Force of Nature. Alright. That's a neat trick. That might actually kill him. I really hope it doesn't. But, I mean, she's going to die anyway. I just hope she dies for one tree ant. And it seems my RNG luck is really not very good today, is it? No, not at all. Okay, well, I mean, this is 6 damage. It's whatever. It's annoying that I lost my 4-3 that way. Statistically, I shouldn't have. But it happens. Like, it's still... The all 3 hit it is pretty unlikely. But it's not crazy unlikely. Alright, Cruel Taskmaster. That's nice. So we can hold on to that for turn 10 with Grommash. That's going to be a great combo. In the meantime, we're going to rely on our Gore Howl. So I don't really want to play Greenskin right now because of this 3-2. I'd rather, I think, maybe hold on to Greenskin for the time being. But I will play the upgrade. I don't know, should I play Greenskin anyway? It's probably best. I mean, I get the double upgrade there on my Gore Howl. And then I've still got things like Grommash to follow up with. Yeah, okay. Alright, more importantly, it's just a case of we get whatever he has off the board. Yeah? So there we go. And that's a pretty powerful weapon we have here. That's a very powerful weapon. So we're going to hit him in the face with it. It's like, here, this is a Ragnaros, but I can hit you with it a few more times. I mean, that is lethal on that Gore Howl. So, this is pretty scary for him. We've got a number of ways to kill him, actually. Things like Grommash Heroic Strike would be pretty effective. Starfall coming out, alright. Yeah, I mean, I knew he was going to use something to do it. I'm pretty happy that he used a very expensive spell to get rid of it, because he's not dropping anything terrifying. And he doesn't have enough mana to play a Druid of the Claw, which would be... Oh, but he does have another Taunt. Okay. Well, this... I mean, this seems like a Grommash kind of situation. But Grommash can't break it on his own. Ooh, Spiteful Smith. That's pretty cool, but I need this out of the way. So, what's the best way to do it? It's not really wasting a charge, per se. I'm just losing 1 health on the weapon. So, I'm okay with that. So, I think we swing... Do I play Grommash without Cruel Taskmaster? I don't think so. I think we get Patient, we play Spiteful Smith. Get rid of that. There we go. So, we play our Spiteful Smith out. And we hold on for the time being. And we've got a couple of different ways that we can kill him from here. Cruel Taskmaster, Enrage on that, plus Heroic Strike equals massive damage. Is that lethal? It's close. It's not... Oh, there's the Iron Bark. Alright, good job we held on then. Because we can now do Grommash, Cruel Taskmaster. Oh. What's he going to do? Is he buffing health? 10-10. Thankfully, Grommash does trade for that. So... Oh, wow. Bloodsail too. Fun. Alright. Okay, it'll be Grommash, Cruel Taskmaster. I think. Is that the best way to do this? I mean, I could Heroic Strike and then go for and hit that in the face for 10. But then he may have an opportunity to get rid of Grommash. So yeah, I think Grommash, Cruel Taskmaster is clearly the way to do this. There we go. Anything that involves not taking that much damage to the face is pretty good. Man, almost have lethal. I almost want to hit him in the face, do that, and then hit him for 12. I really do. I really do. Screw this. Man mode it. Man mode it. Yeah. That's how you do it. There was no point in an inglorious death there for Grommash. 12-8 you don't argue with. I'll take 10 in the face for my bro. Absolutely. Grommash has done well by me. He deserves it. He deserves glory. I don't think your questing adventurer is going to stop me. Your healing touch ain't going to stop me either. I hope you got a way of getting rid of this. You don't. Okay, so what was the point of all those theatrics then? Here, let me show you my hand. Oh, but just don't. Ah, GG. Win streak. There we go. This has been pretty cool. Cruel Taskmaster is maybe a good addition, I think. You know, it's quite nice not to have to worry too much about the Whirlwind and the situations where you can play it. Cruel Taskmaster at least can be played early, even if he's not brilliant. And of course, you drop him with the Grommash, and it's great. It means the Grommash comes out a turn later than he otherwise would, because Whirlwind costs 1 mana. But it does mean that that Grommash is a 12-8, which is pretty intimidating. And there's another minion. Let us explain to the people our right to bear arms. This is actually working out really, really well. It's good to see Greenskin getting on the field as well, as rare as that is. I like to put him in the deck for obvious reasons, it fits the theme, but I get to play him so rarely. It's really fun to be able to do that, even if he doesn't trade out very well. Oh no, it's another priest! I have a feeling this priest might have a lot more luck than the last one when it comes to his stealing. But we open Fiery War Axe, that's good. And Bloodsail Raider there too. Which is, funnily enough, not ideal. You might think, that sounds amazing, but then you remember it's a priest, and that makes the Bloodsail Raider a 5/3. That makes it vulnerable to Shadow Word Death, but I'd much rather him use Shadow Word Death on that than use it on Grommash. or something along those lines. So I guess it's not too shabby. The ideal situation, actually, against a priest for a Bloodsail Raider is if you're able to pull out a Weaponsmith. That's incredible. Alright, cool. Well, Fiery War Axe is brilliant here because it kills that. There we go. So that's gone immediately before you can draw any cards from it. And then we have a Bloodsail Raider follow-up. Potentially a double Bloodsail Raider follow-up if we really want to get sassy with it. Coin. Into, well, it's not an ooze. A Silverback Patriarch. Alright, okay. Well, a Bloodsail Raider is a perfect match for that. So we're going to just play that. And I think we're going to hold on to this, actually, because that could give us another 5-3. Yeah, why not? So you could hold on to the Bloodsail Raider till later game, but at later game, it seems like they have a more risk of having a Shadow Word Death. More likely to draw into it. We'll see if he has one anyway. I have a feeling either he's playing one of those weird taunt decks, or that's a bit of an odd choice. Either he's playing one of those taunt decks, or I actually have no explanation for what he's doing. So whatever. We're gonna just play another Bloodsail Raider, I think. Seems like the way to go. He's used his coin already, hasn't he? So I'm thinking of like Holy Nova possibilities, but that's 2 turns out. So I think we just play another Bloodsail Raider. Let's hold on to this for the moment. And then we just bop that. I could use Cruel Taskmaster to eliminate this completely. Yeah, it might be good, because we're getting to Arcanite Reaper territory now, so I'd rather get rid of this. Oh, wrong order. Hit that first. No point in taking extra damage. There we go. Then remove it. Alright. That's a strong opening board. That's a really strong opening board. And unless he's going to start tossing out Shadow Word Deaths, which, of course, will take him pretty much all his mana, then he doesn't have an answer to that until next turn. Yeah, this is a troll deck. I think it's safe to say. Ah, Arcanite Reaper, perfect. I feel like he's setting me up for a Holy Nova here. I don't like it. I'm thinking just Heroic Strike just to break that. I don't even want to waste the charge of the Arcanite Reaper. Yeah, so I think Heroic Strike. And then we just punch him, quite literally. And then there's the shield block for the draw, and then we hit him for 12. There we go. Could still Holy Nova from this position, but it does only kill 2 out of 3. So it's not the worst thing to ever happen. And then we follow up with Arcanite Reaper. And we bring the Spiteful Smith out. Oh, Ventrico. Alright, okay. Fair enough. Oh, that's alright. Okay, so what's the best way to deal with the Ventrico? Mortal Strike in the 2-2 is the best way to deal with that. Although it does limit me what I can do this turn, but keeping these 2 10 damage creatures alive, I think, is clearly the way to go. So, MS, trade the 2-2 in, and bonk him. And he is dead next turn unless he does something about this. But considering he's had a very taunt-heavy deck, I would expect Sunwalker to come down now or something like that. He's out of Silverback Patriarchs. He's going to have to come up with something. How can he Soul Priest? Alright, well, he's dead. GG. That was easy. Arcanite Reaper and then hit in the face. Not a difficult game. That was a really weird opening from him. I think it does demonstrate quite nicely why a lot of those earlier taunts are actually awful. Because it sounds great to protect yourself early in the game, but when you think about it, what are you protecting yourself from early in the game? And will those taunts actually do the job? Silverback Patriarch is actually really expensive for what it does. It's maybe the worst taunt in the game. I can at least see the value of a 1-2 taunt for 1, because it's cheap. But a Silverback Patriarch is a 1-4 taunt, it's still not going to kill anything, and yet it costs 3 mana. Only time I can ever see a situation where you might want to use that if you're running a full beast deck. Yeah, it's not... Anything that's got beast attached to it is probably not as good as an equivalent card. I mean, I'm trying to think what else, you know, for 3 there's not actually that many taunt options, funnily enough, but it's got beast on it, which usually means that it's lacking some other way because of that synergy. They can't make them too cheap, because otherwise hunters would be OP, so... Yeah, I think, I have a feeling maybe he's a very new player, and he's just using a lot of kind of weird basic cards, but he's not using any good ones. Like, he didn't throw out something like Ascension Shield Master. There's a lot of really good basic cards. Oh, Yetis are basic cards. They're like one of the best cards in the game. But the cards he played weren't, so that's a bit unfortunate. I think we hold the Arathi Weaponsmith. Southsea Deckhand is... against a warrior, it's not amazing. but it's not terrible either. So we'll toss those two. Tossing the Cruel Taskmaster seems a little bit weird, but I was looking for a Fiery War Axe maybe. I didn't get it. Alright, well, we can South Sea Deckhand on turn 1 against a warrior. That's not terrible. And we have an upgrade in an Arcanite Reaper, which is cool. And we can go coin Arathi Weaponsmith for turn 3. That's pretty good. Coin Arcanite Reaper is not brilliant if we can't follow it up with an upgrade. And he's going to use an upgrade to hit that. Alright. Okay. I am okay with that happening. Bloodsail Raider. Generally want to play it with an upgrade, but if he's going to play a... if he's going to play that 1-3, and Bloodsail Raider seems like the right call here. I'm not going to get to play it for another few turns, otherwise. Because I can't coin Arathi Weaponsmith yet, so it would be kind of too late, I think. So I think we should just play it, especially considering the state of the current board. Get it out. It's a 2-3 for 2, which is still okay. That's baseline. Not brilliant, but okay. Dread Corsair, alright. That's a little annoying, because I just can't quite break it with that. But we do have the Arathi Weaponsmith, so I can combine a swing with my 2-3 to get rid of it, which, not awesome, but not terrible either. So, there we go. Pull that out, smack that in the face, and there we go. I say, not a great start, but I do feel like him using that upgrade it's not the worst thing, because he gets rid of that 2-1 that I had on the board, but the upgrades are just so much more powerful than that. So I don't think maybe that was the best idea. But, hey, you know, stopping my momentum early on might be his intention. So, okay, I'm cool with that. I'm not in a position to really judge other people's plays. MS on the 3-3, that's okay. Not too shabby. Okay, well, Arcanite Reaper's going to hold on for the time being, so shield block. Yep. And we're going to swing, because we're going to use Arcanite Reaper next turn. Admittedly, I'm kind of tempted not to, because I maybe like wait to turn 6 and then throw the Arcanite Reaper and the upgrade on the same turn, but that just makes it even more vulnerable to oozing. That means I've wasted 2 cards. Jungle Panther on the way out. Okay, so that's pretty high damage. I want to watch out for that. Captain Greenskin. Don't want to play that with a 4-2 on the board. So, Arcanite Reaper certainly seems like the way to go. And do we hold on to it? We got a Gorehowl, we got a Captain Greenskin, we got an upgrade. I can do 5 damage to him now. We'll hold. We'll hold. We'll do the upgrade, and then get the better value out of it. I don't know why I'm thinking he doesn't have an ooze, but... I hope he doesn't have an ooze. That's all I can say. Leponome, that doesn't preclude an ooze. Okay, well, he's going to start to put a lot of pressure on me. I'll put pressure back, of course, but if I can't take these creatures out, it could be problematic. I do have this Mortal Strike, though, so it's not that bad. Okay, so do we want to play Captain Greenskin and upgrade? Because we can do both of those things. I like that idea quite a bit. It does trade for the 4-2, but as long as it's trading for something, then that's okay. There we go. Upgrade, and now that is a real weapon. There we go. And I think if he had an ooze, he would have used it on that 5-2. So I don't think he was saving it. That said, there's nothing stopping him drawing into one. Ooh, Frothin' Berserker. This could get interesting. But he doesn't actually have that many ways to get his Frothing Berserker up pretty high. Unless he's got something like a Cruel Taskmaster or like a Whirlwind. MS. Alright, so that's his second MS gone. That's actually... yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, he's still got a lot of scary stuff on the board now. So his damage is what? 6, 7, 8, 9 a turn? Ah, great. I just pulled an MS. Fantastic. So we can get rid of his 3-4 before it gets out of control. He's still going to do quite a bit of damage to me. Do you want to... Yeah, actually, Cruel Taskmaster is a brilliant play here. Well, I wouldn't go as far as to say brilliant, but since it trades for the 4-2, and he currently only has a heavy axe, it's actually a good play. There we go. Another swing to the face. And if my health gets down low, that gives me an MS for 6, so that's pretty great. So, all things are going pretty well at the moment. He could shut me down with some powerful taunts, though. Though, my Mortal Strike should hopefully deal with that. I want to maybe get down to 12 health so my MS can clear. That would be pretty much any taunt warrior could do. Oh, Grommash is here. Alright, well, we want to... so he's going to enrage off that 2-2. Okay, so this could get ugly pretty fast. And he could have lethal very quickly. I obviously am getting quite close to lethal, but I'm not there yet. Even if I was at 12 health, I'm not where I need to be for MS, and he has lethal next turn. That's not nice at all. So he currently is sitting on 15 damage. I can armor up to 17 to live. MS won't kill that. And I don't have anything else that can do damage either. I can play my Spiteful Smith. No point playing Gorehowl right now, because this is currently better. I could kill that, but that would take me down to very little health. I think we have to race him and hope that he doesn't have damage in his hand. Which, as a warrior, he probably does. But at this point, we're out of options. We are out of options. I have lethal next turn with Mortal Strike. Although if he pulls a taunt, then I'm definitely dead. So the question is, does he have the damage? Does he have damage in his hand? He needs, what, 1? 2. 2 damage. Some way to get 2 extra damage out. If not, he loses. This deck is playing really close to the wire, isn't it? Okay, well, unless you can give that charge or taunt, that's not going to help. I think I might win it. Bloodsail Raider, that's not going to help. You need a taunt. You need a taunt. You don't have one, do you? If he drops Argus right now, then the crying will commence. Oh! I don't think he's got it! He thinks he can survive. Is he right? No. Even without... even this on MS, I'm still fine. Come on! Whew. Well, he can go to his grave with his heavy axe, I suppose. Nice. Well... and gave me a sack of gold for my troubles. I like this deck a lot. I might actually just do my ladder this season on this deck, because I think it's just so much fun, and it results in games that are really close. So I think this will be my ladder deck for the rest of this season. I can earn my shiny little rainbow card back with it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. That was fun. I like that deck a lot. It's really cool. My name's been TotalBiscuit. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.